dear Rector Bottmann. I mean, in the old Latin university, you would say Rector Magnificus. Isn't that fine? And dear Dean Karan, my dear friends, it's really a great privilege for us to be here, guests at Stellenbosch University. I'm very, very happy being here. We had, so far, most of us, 3 wonderful days. And let me just briefly introduce you to the kind of people that we have here. We have roughly 20, I would say, outstanding international experts on sustainable development, one of them being Mark Swilling. And he and his wife Eve have been hosts, physical hosts at their institute to our meeting and did everything to make us feel happy. Everything was well organized. And then there was a tree planting ceremony to offset our carbon footprints from travel, world travel. And the food at lunch was from the local farming, organic, healthy, as far as I can see, and delicious. So this was really a fantastic thing. And then on Sunday, he showed some of us who were there at the time into Cape Town and the Kailitsa squatter area, showing us not only that poverty is there, but also that the local and central governments make sure that all the essential services are really provided there, which is a fantastic achievement and not seen in many poor areas of large cities in the world. So congratulations on that as well, and thank you once again for showing us that. We will return without forgetting. We also have here a bit more than 20 representatives from countries that support the panel. And we are very grateful to that support and see with great pleasure, we have seen that today, this morning, in this morning session, how much the representatives, chiefly of environment ministries of countries far away, have been engaged in our agenda. And then, today in the afternoon, to be continued tomorrow morning, we had a policy dialogue with really elevated, strong representatives of African countries on what our panel work means for Africa. And as far as I can see, it was really important to have this dialogue for us to learn where the problems lie, and for some of the African participants to listen to a talk about water. Water is one of our themes. What does it mean? Sustainable water management. And one about metals. I mean, some people in the north say, well, Africa is a wonderful continent because there are so many mineral resources, including metals. This is absurd. Of course there are wonderful metals, but there is a lot to be learned about metals and sustainable management of metals and all that. And Professor Tom Gradle introduced us into the universe of metals and what it means for Africa. Fantastic. And we had a little presentation on the big topic of decoupling. Decoupling well-being or wealth from resource use. If everybody on Earth was using so many resources, so much of resources, as typical Europeans or Americans or Japanese do per capita, the Earth would be too small. It just doesn't fit. And if we have one day perhaps 9 billion people, all of them living by northern wasteful standards, we would be in a terrible collision situation. This has to be prevented. And we have to start early, because if we start late, it will be catastrophic. So we are, in a sense, also in an early stage of a better management, sustainable, so that also our grandchildren and later generations can have the beauty of this wonderful planet. I should have addressed you all as comrades of the planet, and that's a very good expression. I shall remember that. The panel was created about 3 years ago at the initiative jointly of the European Commission, represented here by Soledad Blanco. Where is she? Oh yeah, in the back, modest as always. And UNEP, the United Nations Environment Programme, represented here by Sylvie Lemay, the director of the servicing unit in Paris, and also Nick Nuttall, who is the spokesman of UNEP, and he came from Nairobi here. So we are very lucky having this support by UNEP, by the EU Commission, and then by all the other countries. Let me come to a little, if you wish, philosophical remark. You're a theologian, and you're talking about hope. A project, a very interdisciplinary project, to improve the situation for your country, in a way for the world. And this, in a methodological sense, is quite different from conventional university disciplines, which tend to excel in collecting facts, systematizing them, mathematizing everything, and publishing them in peer-reviewed journals. And this is the scientific career. But facts, by definition, are facts of the past. And you are talking about the future, which, in terms of methodology, means a different approach, a riskier approach. And I very much commend you on that, taking the risks, because without taking that risk, you will never reach anything like a sustainable, better future. And then there is some close link between this philosophical approach, which I like, and the approach of the panel. I mean, of course, we work about, say, metals, but not just data crunching, collecting data, but strategizing how can we improve the recycling rate, for instance, reduce the wasteful use, and all that. So this is like good engineers. I mean, and the film showed the engineering approach to improve, all kinds of useful household devices, but also broader engineering tasks. So it's the mentality of engineers who work into a better future. And I sense that all of our working groups, I've not gone into too many details now, will need that kind of bold, courageous approach, looking into the future, without, of course, forgetting scientific solidity. It has to be facts-based, otherwise we would be criticized no end and would lose all those battles. So the combination between good science and good hope is, I believe, the best symbol for people working near the Cape of Good Hope. And I thank you very much for your generous invitation here. All of us in the panel, including my co-chair who had already to leave, Dr. Ashok Khosla, are very grateful for this wonderful hospitality. Thank you.